There is this persistent fantasy in the world of online content. It's the idea that you can just push a giant red button, and suddenly, a perfectly formatted, high-converting product review appears, ready to make money while you sleep.
Ah, the passive income dream. It's the digital equivalent of finding a goose that lays golden eggs, isn't it?
Exactly. But as we both know, reality is usually a bit messier. We're seeing a flood of AI tools promising to write these best-of-product roundups for us. But today, I want to look at two specific contenders that represent two completely different philosophies on how to solve this problem. We're looking at Roundups versus ZimmWriter.
And this isn't just a Coke versus Pepsi comparison. This is really interesting because these two tools are built for two entirely different types of human beings. If you choose the wrong one, you're not just going to be annoyed, you're going to be stuck with a workflow that fights you every step of the way.
That's a strong claim. So before we get into the technical weeds, what are we actually building here? When we say product roundup, what does that look like in the wild?
Right. So imagine you're looking to buy, let's say, a new espresso machine. You don't want to read the manufacturer's manual. You want a short list. You want the 5 best espresso machines for small kitchens. That is a product roundup. It's high buyer intent.
So it's the shut up and take my money phase of shopping.
Precisely. A good roundup has photos, affiliate links, a short review for each item, pros and cons, and a buying guide. It's functional, but writing these by hand is exhausting. You have to find the products, grab the specs, write the intro. It's a grind.
Which is why AI is so appealing here. But you mentioned these two tools, Roundups and ZimmWriter, have different philosophies. Let's start with the money, or rather, how the engine runs. I heard there is a massive difference in how you actually pay for the intelligence behind the writing.
This is the single biggest differentiator, and honestly, most people gloss over it. It's the concept of BYOK.
Bring your own key?
Exactly. Bring your own key. ZimmWriter operates on this model. It's essentially a very sophisticated interface that connects to your personal API keys, usually OpenAI or OpenRotor.
Okay, so let me clarify. When I use ZimmWriter, I'm not paying ZimmWriter for the words. I'm paying OpenAI directly for every token I generate?
Correct. ZimmWriter is the vehicle, but you are buying the gas yourself.
Why would I want that hassle? That sounds like extra accounting.
Control. Absolute control. If OpenAI releases a new model tomorrow, say GPT-5 or a cheaper, faster version of GPT-4o, you can switch to it instantly inside ZimmWriter. You aren't waiting for a software company to update their backend. Plus, you see the real cost. You know exactly what an article cost you down to the penny.
I see. So if I'm a power user, that transparency is gold. But what about Roundups?
Roundups takes the opposite approach. It's a hosted platform with a credit system. You pay a subscription, you get a certain number of credits, and the AI costs are bundled in. It's like an all-inclusive resort. You don't worry about the price of the drinks, you just know you have access to the bar.
That does sound more relaxing.
It is. You don't have to manage API keys. You don't have to worry about hitting usage limits on your OpenAI account. But you are locked into whatever models they choose to serve you. You have less model control, but you gain simplicity.
So if I'm the type of person who hyper-optimizes my spreadsheets and wants to shave 0.02 cents off every article, ZimmWriter is my lane. But if I just want to log in and write, Roundups is safer.
That's a fair assessment, but it goes deeper than just billing. It changes the actual workflow, the day-to-day experience of sitting in front of the computer.
Let's talk about that workflow, because at the end of the day, I have to actually produce these things. Walk me through the Roundups experience.
Think of Roundups as a content studio. It's designed to be linear and guided. You start with research. The AI goes out, finds the products, summarizes them. It builds those comparison tables that everyone loves.
Oh, the tables are crucial. People love scanning those.
Exactly. Then it gives you an editor to tweak the writing and the layout. And finally, this is the kicker for the non-technical crowd. It has easy publishing integrations. You can push directly to WordPress or Ghost.
So it's end-to-end?
Yes. Research, draft, publish. It's very clean. The trade-off, of course, is that because it's a walled garden, you're playing by their rules. If you don't like how their editor works, or if you want to do some weird custom formatting that they don't support, you might feel a bit boxed in.
It sounds like the Apple approach. It just works, provided you do it their way.
That's a perfect analogy. Now compare that to ZimmWriter. If Roundups is a sleek Apple store, ZimmWriter is a factory floor with sparks flying and machinery whirring.
I've seen screenshots of ZimmWriter. It looks dense.
It is dense because it's built for scale. ZimmWriter isn't really about writing one article at a time while sipping tea. It's about bulk production. The workflow is you enter a plural product name, you list a bunch of URLs, and you tell it to repeat that process 50 times.
50 times?
Or 100. It's designed for the affiliate publisher who manages 10 sites and needs to dominate a niche. It has these incredible power user controls. For example, you can tell it to randomize the product order so your reviews don't look identical to everyone else's. You can set different voices for the intro versus the product descriptions.
Wait, different voices? Like the intro is funny but the review is serious?
Exactly. You can configure it to have a search intent-based intro that hooks the reader, then switch to a factual tone for the specs. It also has features to scrub those annoying AI-isms. You know, words like delve or tapestry or game changer.
Oh, please. If I never read the word delve again, it'll be too soon.
ZimmWriter has settings specifically to bold text for skim reading, add FAQs, and even handle complex formatting. But, and here is the catch, it's a Windows application.
A Windows app in 2024?
Yes, it runs locally, which goes back to that control aspect. You are running the factory on your own machine. It's not a cloud app where you log in from a browser on your phone. You sit down at your desktop, you configure the parameters, and you let it rip.
That feels almost retro, but in a powerful way, like driving a manual transmission car.
It is. And for the people who love it, they swear by it. They feel like they are piloting the AI rather than just asking it a favor.
So, we have the studio experience with Roundups, guided, polished, web-based. And we have the production line with ZimmWriter, local, granular, bulk-oriented. But I have to ask, regardless of which one you pick, what is the quality like? Because if the output is garbage, the speed doesn't matter.
That is the million-dollar question. And the answer is nuanced because quality in affiliate marketing is subjective.
How so?
Well, Roundups tends to produce content that is structurally safer. Because the workflow is guided, the AI is less likely to go off the rails. It's consistent. It's good for maintaining a baseline standard across a blog.
Okay.
ZimmWriter, because it allows so much configuration, has a higher ceiling but also a lower floor. If you dial in the settings perfectly, you pick the right model, the right voice, the right negative keywords, you can produce content that is virtually indistinguishable from a human expert. But if you mess up the settings, you might generate 50 articles of nonsense in 5 minutes.
So ZimmWriter gives you enough rope to hang yourself, or to build a bridge.
Beautifully put. And there is another layer here regarding the human in the loop. With Roundups, the editing process is part of the flow. You are almost encouraged to tweak it before you hit publish. With ZimmWriter, because it's bulk-focused, the temptation is to just upload everything without looking.
The publish and pray method.
Right. And I have to say, for anyone listening, do not do that. Neither of these tools creates a publish with 0 edits result. They get you 80% or 90% of the way there, but you still need to check the facts. Did the AI hallucinate a feature? Is that price totally wrong?
That's a great point. AI can write a beautiful sentence, but it doesn't actually know if the coffee machine has a built-in grinder or not. It's just predicting the next word.
Exactly. So, if you choose the bulk route with ZimmWriter, you need to budget time for a human editor to sweep through those articles. If you choose Roundups, you're likely doing that editing yourself as you go.
It seems like the choice really comes down to your business model. Are you an artisan shop or are you a conglomerate?
That's it. If you are a solo creator, maybe you have one or two blogs, and you care deeply about the user experience of every single post, Roundups is probably going to feel better. It's less friction. You don't need to learn prompt engineering or API management.
And if you are an SEO agency,
If you're an agency or you're building a portfolio of sites to flip, ZimmWriter is the weapon of choice. The cost savings alone on the BYOK model when you're generating thousands of articles are massive. We're talking hundreds of dollars a month in savings.
that's significant. You know, listening to this, it strikes me that we are in a weird transition period. We're moving from AI as a novelty to AI as infrastructure.
Yes, we are past the woes phase. Now it's about logistics. How does this fit into my supply chain?
It does make me wonder, though. As these tools get better, ZimmWriter getting more granular, Roundups getting smoother, what happens to the internet? If everyone is using these tools to summarize the same 5 espresso machines,
We risk a homogenization of the web, the gray goo of content.
right. So the real competitive advantage isn't just having the tool, it's how you configure it. It's the voice you select in ZimmWriter. It's the personal anecdote you add manually in Roundups.
Absolutely. The tool buys you time. What you do with that bought time is what defines your success. If you use the time to just make more junk, you'll lose. If you use the time to add unique value, better images, actual hands-on testing notes, then you win.
So, to wrap this up for our listeners who are hovering over the buy button, let's do a quick fire summary.
Sure,
I want simplicity. I hate technical setups.
Roundups, no question.
I want to produce 500 articles this month, and I'm on a budget.
ZimmWriter, it's a beast for scale.
I already have an OpenAI API key, and I want to use my own credits.
ZimmWriter, Roundups won't let you do that.
I want a tool that feels like a modern SaaS app in my browser.
Roundups. ZimmWriter is old-school software.
And finally, I want to hit generate and go to the beach without checking the work.
Neither. You will get fired or de-indexed by Google. Please read your drafts.
Wise words. You know, it's fascinating. We started talking about software, but we ended up talking about control, economy, and really, the responsibility of the creator.
That's always the way with technology. It amplifies who you already are. If you're messy, it amplifies the mess. If you're strategic, it amplifies the strategy.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap up. Whether you choose the studio or the factory, just make sure you're still the one driving the bus.
And maybe check if that espresso machine actually comes with a milk frother before you publish the review.
Exactly. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll catch you in the next deep dive.
See you then.